with essential services such as fire and police stations.
Agri Central Market, Bauchi Central Market, and Model Market at Bauchi have been identified who are upgrading to ultra-modern market status.
The modern market that has all the amenities of a modern market you can find anywhere in this country.
With 18 months completion period, the Azra modern market is expected to provide a sense of comfort and community development. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Muhammad.
We apologize for that mix-up there. That was the inauguration of 2 modern markets in Bauchi by the state governor. I will bring you the other report, the full package of the increase in cashew production by the Minister of State, the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment in subsequent bulletin. Let's move on to other issues. Kaduna State Government is constructing a multi-billion naira ultra-modern state terminal to provide an excellent and efficient road transport services in the country. The project is part of state government policy to provide a more organized transport system commensurate to what is obtainable in developed countries. Haruna Mohammed reports that upon completion, the infrastructure will serve so many purposes.
The 2 billion naira project is an upgrade and reconstruction of Old Mondo Garage to a world-class motor park. The project, which occupies 7.5 hectares of land, consists of 5 terminals, restaurants, shops, police station, fire service post, and transport union sections. When completed in few months to come, it will serve as the only motor park in Kaduna metropolis.
This main building designed to transform the transportation system in Kaduna with 3 terminals for the luxurious bus. Each terminal will take 4 transporters. Then with another 2 terminals for bus and minibus, which will take 30 transporters, including their vehicles.
The new Mando Interstate Terminal, at its 65 to 70% completion, is expected to be completed in the next 4 months. In Kaduna, I am Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
Let's head to Sokoto as we join Nana to bring us the next set of reports.
In Sokoto. As Better Education Service Delivery for All, BESDA rounds off its activities in Sokoto State, Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal appeals for extension of its activities in the state. The governor stated this while receiving officials of BESDA from Abuja. Alhatu Abdullahi completes the report.
Better Education Service Delivery for All is a 5-year World Bank-supported project in 17 states in Nigeria aimed at increasing enrollment drive and reducing the number of out-of-school children in the benefiting states. In Sokoto State, 8 local governments are participating in intensive literacy program, while the reduction of out-of-school children is ongoing in all the 23 local government areas of the state under the Better Education Service Delivery for All. The National Implementation Advisor for BESDA, Dr. Danjuma Adamudabo, told Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal that officials of National Bureau of Statistics are currently undertaking the last lap of verification exercise on BESDA activities in the state. He stated that Sokoto State had demonstrated signs of remarkable achievements likely to attract rewards under the BESDA project, adding that the digital registration records indicates that 769 schools are online with 264,785 enrollments as against the initial targets.
They had planned an enrollment of 187,682, meaning they have exceeded that by over 70,000 enrollments.
Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal attributed the successes to the methods of reward for result being applied in the project.
We're asking for a second BESDA or another program that is like BESDA.
Tambuwal also assured of safe schools environment to guarantee successful teaching and learning in schools. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Zamfara State Police Command has dislodged a notorious terrorist syndicate that has allegedly been terrorizing communities along Zamfara, Sokoto, and Niger states' boundaries. An arrested member of the syndicate was paraded along with a 39-year-old man suspected to be a member of another syndicate which specializes in smashing of vehicles to steal money and valuables. Jamilu Ibrahim has the reports.
Of Zamfara State Police Command, spearheaded by the Commissioner of Police Kolo Yusuf, to rid the state of criminal elements, is progressively making the desired impact. The dislodgement of a notorious bandit syndicate that has been terrorizing particularly people of Anka, Bukum, and Gomi local government areas of the state is the latest feat achieved by the command. Spokesman for the command, Muhammad Shehu, who briefed a journalist on the development, said one of the most wanted members of the syndicate, Isiaka Babangida, was arrested when they were planning to attack some communities in the areas.
They engaged our operatives to a serious gunfight, and our police operatives responded well, engaged the bandits too, and locally enough, they succeeded in dislodging the bandits, which forced the bandit to fled and abandon some of their rifles.
Exhibits recovered from the scene include 2 AK-47 rifles, 2 fabricated guns, some quantity of live ammunitions, magazines, as well as some local charms. The suspect, who hails from Kabe village in Kebbi State, confessed to the crime, saying he had participated in 3 different terrorist attacks along Sokoto's Zamfara boundary. Also paraded is a 39-year-old Usman Umar, suspected to be a member of a notorious syndicate that allegedly specializes in smashing vehicles to steal money and some other valuables. 3,500,000 naira and some other exhibits were recovered from the suspect. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
Well, those are the stories from Sokoto. We hope you like them. Well, Nationwide continues in Abuja with Ruth after this commercial break. Thank you for joining us.
What are we doing as a nation to, first of all, settle our teeming populace, especially
NTA's political package with a third eye on the nation's political scene? I am Fisa Ogunkuyi. Well,
you have to be very careful giving space to people who are obviously sponsored to further the agenda of some other groups.
We have a lot of questions. A lot of questions in a closed door sessions. Some of these issues, some of the problems bedeviling of their.
In fact, between June 1st and July 17th, 19-point-something billion has left the coffers of the NDDC.
I can say my constituency, they need everything because we don't have anything.
Everywhere you go, from banks to hospitals to public offices, mass transit stations, airports, and even telecommunication centers, senior citizens are treated as nuisances. They are not. They are senior members of our society, and they deserve the utmost respect. We shouldn't be having our aged fathers and mothers standing in long queues to withdraw their monies at banks. Our retired senior citizens shouldn't be caught standing in buses for lack of seats or chasing after one just to get to their destination. Senior citizens shouldn't have to sit long hours in hospital corridors with no geriatric specialist to attend to them. Our senior citizens deserve better treatment from all of us. They deserve to be listened to. They are deserving of seat reservations on public buses and priority attendance in public spaces. As young people, we are quick to say, no one owes you. This is not true. We owe the elderly members of our society a helping hand, our services, and respect. Age-friendly societies have more senior citizens enjoying good health, living safely, and engaging in meaningful community work than those who do not. Dignifying age-friendly services for senior citizens.
The first edition of the Nigeria Broadcasting Awards is here. Participation and sponsorship information. Follow our social media handles at TNB Awards on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Powered by the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria.
Welcome back. A wider approach towards sensitizing Nigerians against the upsurge of violence against women and girls has been introduced by a development initiative of West Africa and partners. This is part of efforts to address the menace, particularly amongst rural populace. Ngozi Technical reports.
In two separate books containing scripturally annotated messages aimed at supporting the rights of women and discouraging all forms of abuse and violence against women and girls from Christian and Islamic perspectives was unveiled to the public. Stakeholders believe the books will sanitize and inspire adherents of the two major religions in Nigeria to join the advocacy of stemming the tide of violence against women.
The introduction of family planning, for instance, was what gave women the power to participate in the labor market very fully and very strongly. And today we can see the immense contribution of women within our labor force.
Religious leaders, they are the closest to the community. In every aspect of our daily life, they get involved. But we believe that if they are empowered, they can better pass the messages across as well.
When a Christian or a Muslim is the one that is not doing rightly in the way they treat women and children, if a pastor says it's wrong and the imam says it's wrong, then you will think twice.
The 125-page books of more than 100 messages covered communities in local government areas of Adamawa and Sokoto states. The reviewer said addresses early marriages, girl-child education, and equal treatment of children irrespective of gender or religion.
Many states actually have. The only challenge is that nobody is enforcing these laws.
To build a nation, women's education, women's well-being, the nurturing of women, the development intellectually, economically, and socially of women is paramount.
The books, however, are expected to be translated into the different Nigerian languages and distributed to various worship centers. In Abuja, Ngozi Technical, NTA News.
The Federal Ministry of Education and United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF, have drafted a re-entry guideline for adolescent girls aimed at redressing the high rate of out-of-school girls in Nigeria. At a critic of the re-entry guidelines held in Akure, Ondo State, experts charged parents and guardians to prioritize the girl-child education, while government should implement the new draft. Let's hear more from Olushola Komolafe.
Global statistics by United Nations Children Fund shows that 11 million Nigerian children are out of school, out of which 60% are girls. Reasons for this are attributed to early marriage, pregnancy, poverty, among others. This critique of re-entry guideline for adolescent girls suggests adequate orientation for parents and guardians on how to care for their girl child.
In order for us to have a robust and a very comprehensive guideline, that's why we have decided, okay, let's take it around.
I'm appealing that the federal government, after the end of this program, they should assist us, ratify it, and make sure that, they ask or they mandate each state to make use of it.
Participants drawn from the 6 southwestern states, Kwara and Delta charge government to properly monitor and implement the draft.
It's not enough for government to just bring in functionaries here, but to also ensure that these re-entry guidelines are contextualized and these are implemented to the letters.
We need to encourage them because their future matters to every one of us. Because if you don't cater for them, they will become liability.
Most stakeholders, including non-governmental organizations, are also expected to enroll in the campaign for re-entry of all adolescent girl child back to school. In Akure, Olushola Komolafe, NTA News.
I'm sure you're aware academic activities in both public and private schools have resumed, talking about the 2022 and 2023 academic session. For the FCT, Adiza Godwin Ebune visited some schools and reports that the turnout of students the first day is impressive.
Of the school bell signifies a new dawn in the Federal Capital Territory schools. Heads of schools say both teachers and students have been briefed on every activity, including security consciousness.
We have not noticed any unusual movement.
If you notice, we have relevant places to report quickly. We have policemen that come at night around us. We have some of their numbers, and we're always in contact with our headquarters.
To the best of our ability, we try to put things in place. As you can see, 2 securities in the morning and in the evening, 2 security. Considering the proximity of the school with the headquarters here, I believe we're safe by the grace of God.
Actually, I feel safe coming back to school in Abuja because I've not heard of any security challenges, but other parts of the countries I've heard about it, but at least here we are safe and we are very happy.
Initially, when we were going back home, we were not given resumption dates. So it was during the holiday that we passed resumption dates by on the WhatsApp group. So when I heard that we're actually going to come back to school, I felt happy, I felt safe.
Heads of schools say the academic calendar is still on track and all schools' activities will be observed as and when due. Hadiza Godwin Ebuni, NTA News.
Well, as pupils and students in various states return to the classroom for a new academic session, many families are finding it difficult to cope with the demands of back-to-school items due to the hike in prices. In Port Harcourt, Ifoma Omezer sought the views of some sellers and buyers on the cost of stationeries and other items.
Findings by NTA News showed that many parents and guardians could not adequately save towards sending their children and wards back to school this September. Although they acknowledged that the first time usually comes with extra costs, they hinged their predicament on the fact that they had not recorded any increase in their incomes lately. Some sellers who spoke to NTA News say the prices of school uniforms, textbooks, and exercise books have gone up.
I don't think the less privileged out there will go to school because you can get all your books for as much as 20, 30, going to 40,000.
They should look into how to stabilize our school system. Parents now send students to school out of some people borrow.
Public and private schools resumed today, Monday, 12th September 2022. In Port Harcourt, Ifoma Omisa, NTA News.
The National Directorate of Employment will soon enlarge the number of Nigerians seeking to be empowered through the scheme. National Coordinator of Savicom gave the indication while presenting an evaluation report carried out in 15 centres of the NDE across the nation. Ikechukwu Ndukwe reports.
Appending this signature from both sides is a mutual agreement to work together to improve on reported areas of strength and weaknesses. Savicom has scored the National Directorate of Employment 50% on timeliness, but found on service delivery, which stood at 38%, urging them to quickly fix most of the NDE state offices and skill acquisition centers, procure equipment for training, and work on staff attitude to customers.
So the essence is to see our weaknesses, see our strengths, advise us on how to capitalize on our strengths and on how to improve on our weaknesses. In fact, for us, we see it as a SWOT analysis, which I think is the first time is being done on the NDE itself. So we welcome it.
We want to see them take this higher in terms of number, such that we can get more unemployed Nigerians out of the streets. They can begin to create more wealth. They can begin to be independent. They can begin to be masters of their own businesses.
Director General NDE Abubakar Nuhufikbo thanked the Savicom for a SWOT analysis, promising to work on issues raised. Ikechukwu Ndukwe, NTA News.
Guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria have expressed optimism that King Charles III will sustain the legacies of late Queen Elizabeth II, especially in promoting shared prosperity and cooperation among Commonwealth countries. This was while discussing the end of an era and a new order in the British monarchy. Thomas Ogbetiri reports.
London Bridge is down. The code phrase for Queen Elizabeth II's death has echoed around the world since Thursday, September 8, 2022. As UK prepares for her state burial, King Charles III has since emerged as British monarch, head of Commonwealth, and the defender of the faith. International affairs experts expect King Charles III to provide purposeful and charismatic leadership in the steps of his mother.
During the Cold War, she played a very significant role in ensuring that the problems between the Western Bloc and the Eastern Bloc got settled.
The Commonwealth really needs to expand, but expanding not just the interests of the common nation, but expanding in the interest of the Commonwealth.
The guest also gave perspectives on the Republican agitations the British monarchy has to contend with.
Borrowing from a number of things that the mom has done, by reaching out, particularly to all these provinces, and ensuring that she helps to bring everybody together and maintain the United Kingdom as a unit.
There is consensus that King Charles III has the tutelage and grooming to command the respect and love of the British people, the Commonwealth of Nations, and across the globe. In Abuja, Thomas Ogbetere, NTA News.
That's nationwide. We do appreciate your company, but we'll continue to remind you of your role in the fight against rape and rapists. I'm Ruth Aguele. Enjoy your evening.